You ever find yourself walking down the street, just minding your own business, and out of nowhere, some old guy walks up to you just to tell you about the good old days, and then he proceeds to dive into an hour-long conversation about all the things he wishes he had known when he was your age. Yeah, I've never had that exact thing happen to me either, but today, I'm gonna be that old guy you ran into, and whether you wanna listen to me or not, I'm gonna share some things I wish someone had told me when I was your age. So settle in, grab your vape and energy drink, because we're about to discuss 15 more lessons I wish I knew when I was a teenager. Lesson 1. No one cares, so don't worry what others think. We all feel like we're under a microscope at all times. We feel like everyone around us is constantly judging the way we look, the way we walk, the way we talk. But here's the thing, nobody cares. Unless you're a celebrity, no one knows who you are and nobody cares. This sounds negative and like it's a bad thing, but it really isn't. It's actually really freeing when you learn to accept it for what it is. You're able to move about your life with ease, knowing that no one cares what you do. You're free to experiment and to try new things. See what you like, see what sticks. Your mind's like a hard drive. It fills up quickly with useless crap. If you're able to free up space by not caring what others think about you, then you're gonna be able to make room for new experiences. And you're gonna need to free up this space for step 2, get out and explore. This lesson could easily be misunderstood as me telling you to get out and travel instead of get out and explore. But if you're like most teenagers, you don't have any money for extensive travel. My challenge to you is to get out whenever you can in whatever area you live in and explore. Find whatever new and interesting things you can come across in your immediate area. Maybe there's something you've had some kind of interest in, and maybe you can try it out for yourself and learn more about it. You can learn a lot by simply being a casual observer. In time, maybe you'll graduate to becoming an active participant. Either way, I recommend that you go out and try some new things. After all, if you do what you've always done, then you get what you've always got. Lesson 3, document your journey. Like it or not, we live in a digital age. If you aren't documenting your life, hobbies, or interests, you really should. Not only could you be helping someone who needs the information that you hold, but you could inadvertently be documenting memories that you're gonna want to refer back later in life when you're older. Start now. Trust me, you're gonna thank me later. Lesson 4, don't sweat the little things. Anyone that personally knows me can attest to the fact that I'm pretty annoying. I tend to rub people the wrong way because of my quotable phrase, it is what it is. Now the reason I overuse this phrase is because I try not to sweat the small stuff. If I can't control it, then why bother? I take things as far as I can and then I move on from there. Here's a random fun fact that I'm probably gonna regret sharing with you. At any time, I could not readily tell you my age or my wife's age or my kid's age. I just don't find that information to be useful in my daily life, so I just dump it. Now, for any of you at this very moment that are thinking that that's pretty stupid of me to be that way, yeah, I agree with you. It's pretty insane that I wouldn't know my own age or my wife's age or how old my kids are. Maybe I should work on that, but nobody's perfect, and maybe if you bully me enough in the comment section, I'll do something about it. I got a little sidetracked there, so let's put a bow on this lesson. Let the little things work themselves out and give focus to the big things in life that truly matter. Lesson 5, learn how to learn. If you've spent any length of time in the traditional academic environment, you've probably come across the 4 main types of learners: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and reading writing. The problem with the traditional system of education is that it usually caters heavily to only one style of learning at any given time, and never all at once. Now, in all fairness, it does make sense why they do it this way, and it's because there's a lack of resource. There's never enough time, there's never enough educators, there's never enough funding available, there's never enough of everything to meet the demands of each and every student for that particular style of learning that they require. Now, my recommendation for you is to find out which style of learning works best for you and then use outside resources to fill in those gaps. For example, I am very much a kinesthetic style of learner. I like to learn by doing. I need to do dozens of repetitions to grasp a new concept. If the education system won't give me the additional problems I need to conduct my reps, then I turn to free resources via YouTube or websites. Now, the same holds true for all the other styles of learning as well. There are thousands of free resources available on your cell phone that you can supplement your learning style. Find out what works for you and then apply them as soon as possible. Lesson 6, create a productivity system. I'll let you in on a little secret. Creating a productivity system has helped me to overcome some of the largest obstacles I've ever come across in my professional career. I am probably the dumbest smart person you'll ever meet. I have a degree in mechanical engineering that I got by the skin of my teeth with a 2.56 GPA. I failed my fundamentals of engineering exam twice. I got stripped of my title as a mechanical engineer, and I willingly set my civilian career back by a year by volunteering to deploy overseas with the United States Army. So what does any of this have to do with creating a productivity system? Well, it's because even though my academic achievements were lackluster, I overcame all of my shortcomings through my implementation of having a solid productivity system in place. My systems allowed me to maintain excellent notes, progress, financial statistics on my projects, and that helped to make the company money, and it kept my clients happy. You'd be surprised how rare and in high demand organized people are. Now, all that sounds great, but if you really want to set yourself apart from a sea of overly organized people, then you're gonna have to know also how to execute well. Lesson 7, execution is the great equalizer. I thought that was a pretty good segue into the next lesson. Yes, execution is what separates the good from the great. You're gonna come into contact with all kinds of people that have good ideas, but how many of them do you know that actually do something with those ideas? Don't be like everyone else and just talk a big game with your big ideas, yet never follow through into the execution phase. There are enough people on this planet who are someday going to do something. You have the opportunity to be one of those rare people where someday becomes today. Lesson 8, invest in yourself. Never be afraid or ashamed to invest in yourself. Whether they are free resources like YouTube or Google, paid resources like books, or technological resources like a new computer or a piece of tech, don't think too hard about it. If you need it, find it, buy it, move on. This lesson carries well into adulthood too. I cannot tell you how many people I run into that say things like, well, if the company won't buy it for me, then I'm not doing it. Or the company isn't paying for this phone bill, so I'm not using my phone for work. All those things might be true, but they're also a poor attitude to have. If I can buy my way into being more effective and efficient at what I do, then I'm usually going to find a way to make that happen. The older you get, the harder it becomes to reclaim your most precious resource, which is time. Use your time wisely and don't be afraid to invest in yourself. No one knows you better than you, and you know what you need more than anyone else. Figure out what you need and make a move. Lesson 9. Build multiple sources of income. If COVID-19 taught us anything, it's that we are far too reliant on things that have a single point of failure. It felt like overnight, all the things we depended on were just gone. Food, household essentials, jobs, gone. Losing out on your primary source of income sucks. I almost lost mine too if I hadn't made a move into a more secure job when I did. I'm currently in my mid-30s and I still only have one source of income. Now I'm currently working on that by starting this YouTube channel. I have a plan now, I just wish I had started when I was younger. Oh well, like I always say, it is what it is. Lesson 10, ask for forgiveness, not permission. I feel like with a lot of these tips, I should caveat that there are exceptions to every rule, but this one is especially true. I'm not implying you go driving 150 miles an hour and then ask for forgiveness from law enforcement when they catch up to you. What I mean is, don't wait for someone to give you permission or confirmation before you move forward with your plan. While your friends and family are capable of being your biggest supporters of your dreams, they are also more often than not the biggest haters you're going to come across. They'll want you to aim lower and to set your sights on more reasonable expectations. They might mean well, but it's your life to live, not theirs. Decide on a course of action and then move forward before you're ready. Lesson 11, practice the golden rule. This is the subtle and lost art of treat everyone how you want to be treated. Now I get it, this is primary school stuff, but it's overlooked by almost everyone. There is power in politeness. Most people hate their jobs. They hate their living situations and are overall unhappy with their lives. The choices they've made, whether they're aware of it or not, have led them to this moment in time of unpleasantness. This is your opportunity to break the cycle of disappointment that they've grown accustomed to. A kind word can really shape the conversation and ultimately the outcome into your favor. As the saying goes, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Lesson 12, weed out negative people. You ever spend any time around someone who is always a pessimist? Someone who is just so vile and negative all the time. They never have a positive thing to say about anything, and furthermore, their bad attitude is always taken out on you. They tell you to stop dreaming so big, that you're too fat, ugly, stupid, too slow, that you won't be able to accomplish all the things that you want to do. You need to cut those people off immediately. They're going to bore inside of you and hurt your drive and motivation to pursue more difficult challenges down the road. If you need further affirmation about the kind of person that you are, take a good hard look at the people you choose to surround yourself with. If you don't like what you see, then maybe you should look for new associates to surround yourself with. Lesson 13, be a silent professional. When I was in college from 2007 to 2012, I had several professors, numerous restaurant coworkers, and one employer both tell me in their own unique ways that I was stupid. They couldn't believe that someone who was pursuing a degree in mechanical engineering could struggle so much with basic math. And that's true to this day. I still struggle with basic arithmetic in my head. These people had already written me off as another loser with too big of dreams and not enough talent to back it up. But here's the thing they didn't account for. While they were openly loud about their opinions of me, I was silently grinding away at my craft. Now let's go forward in time. It's January 2023 and it's been 11 years since I stepped foot in the college town that wrote me off as too stupid to succeed or to make anything of myself. I'm sitting at a table in a nice restaurant and I lock eyes with the waiter. This guy, who used to bust tables with me, is now serving me water in the same town 11 years later. Let people have their fun with their insults and predispositions about you. While they speak loudly about what they think of you, show the world your success through the silent efforts of your work that you put on behind the scenes. Lesson 14, consistency compounds over time. A couple of months ago, I started a new assignment for the Army. Well, I did what I always do when I get a new assignment in any job, and I sought out the subject matter experts who could teach me everything I didn't know. Well, one of those people I got to know, let's call him Matt. Matt was the man. He had this job figured out and was so well respected across the organization. Now, one night over drinks, I asked Matt what his secret to success was in this job, and his answer was painfully simple. Well, damn sir, anyone who does the same job for 10 years will eventually get good at it. He wasn't wrong. In fact, one of the most hotly discussed variations on this statement can be found in Malcolm Gladwell's best-selling book, Outliers. In it, he makes reference to what he calls the 10,000 hour rule. Now, Gladwell states that his research across various disciplines revealed that it took around 10 years or 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to gain mastery of something. You know, Mr. Beast didn't become the biggest YouTuber in history overnight. Go to his channel right now. As of the day I'm writing this script, he has 164 million subscribers and 740 videos going back 11 years. I've seen channels that have been uploading mostly mediocre content for 10 years eventually crack the 1 million subscriber milestone. Now, even if your goal isn't to gain mastery over something, what would happen if you put in a fraction of the effort required to do the thing? Imagine if you put in 1/10 of the effort required to become a world-class guitar player. 1/10, 1,000 hours, or 1 year of practice. Take your pick. Imagine the songs available for you to play on a level far above anyone else around you with only 1/10 of the effort required to become a master. Why wouldn't you put in that effort day in and day out to do more? Even if you can't see the fruits of your efforts for 9 years, 11 months, and 30 days, would you say that it was all for nothing if the next day, year number 10, rolled into existence and just like that, you had made $1 million? Now, how is this possible? Why am I even saying that? Did you make $1 million overnight, or did you just have to put in the work for 9 years, 11 months, and 30 days until you had obtained the skills necessary to be able to generate $1 million in a single day? 10 years for a life-changing amount of money. 10 years of your life for changing your circumstances. That sounds like a fair trade to me. Lesson 15, maintain high standards for yourself. It's a simple fact of life that people are going to constantly try to pull you in the direction that they want you to be. It's only natural. We crave community and acceptance. And the fastest way to get what we desire is to bring others into our immediate circle along for the ride. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing when it's done correctly. Here's the problem you're going to encounter. Most people that you have touch points with will be at a lower level than you want to be. It's just easier to go through life being mediocre. Most people don't want to be surrounded by someone who is a constant reminder of their laziness, lack of drive, and shortcomings. You, having decided that you are going to up your standards, are now that walking reminder for them. Don't let the people you surround yourself with bring you down. Keep your standards high, and then you'll naturally attract people who feel the same. This may take time, but it is worth it. Now, it's up to you to decide what to do with the information that's been provided in this video. You can easily do like most people and brush off all the things as nothing more than the ramblings of some old dude who doesn't understand how the world works and isn't successful enough to claim the title of a millionaire. Yeah, that's fair. I'm not a millionaire yet, but I'm working on it. Now, I believe in myself because I've never been afraid to put my ego aside and listen to the lessons that someone who knows more than me can give to me for free. Now, that's all I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to give out some free information that may help you in the long run. It took me a lot of years and frustration to figure out the lessons given out on this channel. I hope you can find value in them. And as always, please reach out below in the comment section if you'd like to add to the discussion that we've had here. Thanks for watching again, y'all. Be easy.